So for that fucking Bayern game.
Yeah, all right. So we are back, week 4. We will talk about that Bayern game. That is on the docket at the very end. Week 4 of the FIFA podcast. Dan, you guys know me. You know Sam over here.
What's up, guys?
Little late coming out tonight, but y'all see it tomorrow. We put a little bit of extra work in for this week on some things that we've got coming up. So, how's your week been, man? Good?
Yeah, been good. A lot
Been
of
good?
FIFA.
A lot of FIFA, right? So, speaking of FIFA, I changed my team. Team of the season helped that out quite a bit. We've got a new team running up. Here's what we got going. It's a 2-league hybrid. Bundesliga, League 1. And you know what's funny? When I build my teams, it really is just based around the defensive midfielders. As stupid as that sounds. Like, does that sound dumb to you?
That is based around defensive midfielders?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, so if we look at the best defensive, I'm gonna sidetrack real quick because if we look at the best defensive midfielders in FIFA, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go to midfield, sort by defending, right? To get a good defensive midfielder that's not ludicrously expensive is very difficult.
Agreed.
So, like, Javi Martinez, 94 defending for a defensive midfielder, team of the season, right? He's got 66 pace. Can't really run that.
Yeah.
Right? Sergio Busquets, 57 pace. N'Golo Kante's team of the season, 1.36 million, completely unattainable. Right? Matthias, 1.5. You know, Vieira's is almost 2 million. Right? So, my team has the 2 best value for money defensive midfielders in the entire game.
Yeah.
With team of the season Lars Bender and second in form Luis Gustavo. Now, the reason that maybe I look there is I'm more worried about stopping the opponent's strikers than I am attacking myself because I trust myself to attack. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And what I found with the formation I'm running here, the 4-2-3-1 wide, is it takes the meta formations and makes their lives a living hell. Because you essentially have 6 defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, I'm just going to run through the team real quick. Goalkeeper up, and then we'll talk about why everyone's there the way they're there. So, Farman, Sula, team of the season. Second in form, Naldo. In form, Sidibe. David Alaba. Team of the season, Lars Bender. Second in form, Luis Gustavo. In form, Thomas Muller. First in form, base Marco Reus. Third in form, Florian Thauvin. And birthday, Andre Schürrle. Everyone knows why Farman's here. Dude, he's too good to be an 84. Like, it's just a little silly. Naldo, I mean, we've said this before and we'll say it again. If you don't have a very highly athletic defender, to put it lightly, in your team, you know, a large-bodied, highly athletic defender in your team, you're doing something wrong. You know, see your Eric Bailly's and your Patrick Vieiras, and your Naldos and your Luis Gustavos and your Jerome Boatengs. You kind of need one of those guys. And Naldo is very good at that while also being very good on the ball. Sula was not planned to be in this team. Originally, this was going to be second in form Naldo and in form Marcelo. But I did one of the guaranteed community team of the season SBCs, and I pulled an untradeable Sula team of the season. And he slots right in, so I wasn't going to complain. Alaba's the best left back maybe in the game, aside from team of the season, or team of the year.
Marcelo. Or Alexandro,
right? He's up there, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's really good. You can't really, not have him. Sidibe is a very good right back, probably the best right back in League One. And he gives green links to Tovan, which helps a lot. Luis Gustavo, basically, he is the single best value for money defensive midfielder. 30K for this card is just stupid good.
Yeah.
Bender is the next best value for money defensive midfielder. 80K for this. This is really stupid, and how I'm running him in my team is with a Hunter chemistry style. He hits the Hullet Club with a Hunter chemistry style. It's just really dumb. With high work rate, he's really good. Then Marco Reus is Marco Reus. He's always going to be good. Thomas Muller is probably the surprise of this team. Because I didn't think he'd be as good as he is. And he's good for all the reasons I didn't expect. He's like he's like a 7th defender most of the time. Mm-hmm. Because he has high work rates, because he's as big as he is, like when someone puts a ball, like a over the top ball into the midfield, he'll win the header on the first line more often than not. Mm-hmm. Now, this might be why people play strikers in the midfield. Mm-hmm. Maybe. Like that, I've never seen the reason to do it, but because he's so good at that, it kind of explains it to me. Florian Thauvin, we'll talk about him later. He's just really, really good. This card for 48K is just dumb. And then Birthday Schürrle was originally going to be Lewandowski. However, he's literally better than Lewandowski in every single way except for heading. Like, every single way except for heading. Yeah. Or, except, his shooting is the same, right? Okay. So, his heading is worse and his shooting is the same.
Okay.
But they both have 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. They both have high work rates. But Schürrle has, like, 10 more points of pace. Yeah. And better dribbling. And same passing, same shooting, right? There's no reason you wouldn't take Schürrle. Yeah. He's cheaper. He hyperlinks to Royce, you know. Right. So, that's the new team. It's really good. I'm really quite enjoying it. I've yet to play you with it. Surprisingly. We'll have to hook that up at some point. Yeah. But would you say that's my first, like, good team this year?
It's your first team this year that's like, oh, wow, that's actually, like, better than something you'd see on day one.
Well, my team was not my last the false 9 with the Dutch guys. Yeah. That's not a day 1 team. That might be a 2-month in team.
2-month in team, yeah.
But yeah, no, I've been running budget squads most of the year. Yeah. The other big things that have happened this year or this week, team of the season dropped. So we've got two team of the seasons that came out. We've got the community voted on team of the season right here, and then we've got the English Football League team of the season. So that's the Championship, League 1, League 2. Now, what are your thoughts, Mr. Sam, on the community team of the season? What do you think?
I'm happy with it. I think they included who they needed to include. Yeah, I'm happy Alisson got one. Chiellini deserved it.
Even though his card's not that great?
Yeah, his card's not that great, but I think that's more due with just what the game is with Sage and feet.
Well, I also kind of wish they would upgrade players with how well they played and not necessarily how good their starting card was.
Yeah, and then the other thing is I think FIFA sometimes takes a little while. Like a guy's got to have a good year or two before they really start to give him, insane cards. So I'm fine with it.
I also think the other thing with him is the hype is not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one knows about him unless you watch Serie A.
Yeah, or now that you pay attention to Champions League, you realize it. But, yeah. But guys like Fabinho, I mean, that card is just silly.
Yeah. I would venture aside from Conte, that's the best defensive midfielder in the entire game.
Yeah. I mean,
And
he's in the Holy Club.
even compared to Conte, he's got what, 5 inches on him, 6 inches on him.
He's 6'2".
You know,
Yeah.
and Conte's what, 5'8"?
Yeah, and he's only 290,000. That's not that much for that
He's
card.
not terribly expensive. No.
Like Alejandro Gomez is more expensive than him.
Right. Well,
So,
Alejandro Gomez is more expensive because he has 96 pace.
Right.
That's the other thing that I wanted to point out was with this being community voted, we missed out on a couple cards that I think we should have had. And there were a couple of omissions that we talked about when we did our live vote. Like, Kostas Manolas was not even included in the voting process.
Yeah.
Right? And he would have gotten voted in, probably over Sula.
Mm-hmm.
Because who doesn't want an 85 pace center back?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
I think like the unsung cards here, like cards that people aren't paying attention to that are really good. Jose Gaia, the left back.
Yep.
He looks really, really good.
Yeah.
If only Doucouré was taller. The guy from Watford.
Mm-hmm.
5'11" isn't short, but if only he was taller, you know?
Hamsich looks absolutely unreal.
Oh, he looks nasty. Like, that's a great attacking midfielder. I mean, again, and Hamsich isn't small either. He's 6 foot.
He's
right?
A big guy, yeah. Pretty big.
And he's got a 5-star weak foot. So, like, those 3-star skill move, 5-star weak foot guys seem to be shrinking every year. Like, I don't know of how many other guys in the entire game have that.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that used to be like a, you know how they, like, squeeze players into, like, tropes?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
he was in that.
There is that 3-star skill move, 5-star weak foot trope of guys, like Francesco Totti, Hamsich, who aren't necessarily flair guys, but they're super technically skilled. But now we see a lot of 4-star skill move, 5-star weak foot guys like Eriksen, De Bruyne, that area.
Mm-hmm.
But the only, like, Lamar looks really good.
Lamar does look really good.
Now the thing with Lamar is he's an absolute midget at 5'6". But he Malcolm also looks good.
He's a midget as well. But
5'7".
Really good. Yeah.
You know, 90 pace, 87 shooting, 87 passing, 93. That's really good.
And the thing is, he's left-footed on the right side.
Left-footed on the right wing. You know, Lamar, unfortunately, is left-footed on the left wing.
Yeah.
Robertson, the left back from Liverpool, the reason he's so expensive is he is actually the best left back in the Premier League right now for a card.
Yeah.
So that's why he's still going for 136K.
Yeah.
Courtois got a good card. I mean, you have no reason to go out and buy this Courtois when you can just go out and buy a De Gea. Like, as stupid as that sounds, you know, if you can fit De Gea, Farman, Handanovic, Ter Stegen has saves with feet, right?
Handanovic doesn't, but he's
really
very good for other reasons. Yeah.
You know, if you use the Dutch league, Van Ginkel's really good. I mean, even Fernando, the cheapest card here, is still a really good card. He's just in a not, you know, a league that does not promote use, right?
Right.
You know, so Van Ginkel and Fernando, if you pull those cards out of the team of the season, like upgrade SBC, don't feel like you've lost something. They're still very, very good cards. They're just not something you can build a team around.
Right.
You know? I'm a little pissed they gave Giovinco a card.
Are you?
Well, because not that... I'm pissed they gave him his card now and not when the rest of the MLS team of the season comes out. Because the MLS season is not even 2 months old. So if you're going to give him... If you're going to give him a team of the season, right? It's based on last MLS team of the season. Because he started playing again in the middle of March. Like, he hadn't played from when the MLS season ends which is when all the other seasons are starting, which is in October.
Yeah.
He had not played from October to March. How are you going to give a dude a team of the season when he hasn't played for most of FIFA?
Yeah.
Like, that's just dumb.
That's true. That's true.
You know, like, if
That is
he
pretty
legitimately hasn't been playing, like, he probably would have gotten an MLS team of the season. And I'm selfishly glad they gave it to him now so I can put it into my MLS team.
Yeah.
You know? But it doesn't make sense to give him one now. You know? That's just my take on it.
That's true.
But yeah, in short, all these cards are very good. That SBC is at most 30K. Everyone's going to get a bunch of free team of the season cards. So you should not feel bad about pumping every single one of them into this if you want to, because every card you get out, you can either recycle back into that team of the season thing, or use and keep. You know, like I said,
you pull something good.
Right, I pulled Sula, right? That fits my team. He's a really good center back. You know, 6'4". Like, shoot, he has 72 pace. Whatever. You know,
which is fine. 72 is not terrible.
72 pace for a center back is livable, right? As long as you play well. You know, PK only has 72 pace. Sula is essentially PK, who's a little bit worse than the ball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to complain about that.
Right.
You know, are there cards that don't fit the game? Sure, like Busquets. Busquets does not fit FIFA this year.
No.
He's great. I would probably love using him, but he doesn't fit FIFA this year.
No.
Javi
Martinez is on that borderline, but your 66 pace is tough to deal with.
Well, yeah. Right. You know? And Martinez and Busquets, you pair those two guys up as defensive mids, you've got 4 center backs on the field.
Yeah.
Like, and they can spray balls all over the park.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's cool that this community team this season gives nods to guys that, you know, would not have gotten it otherwise. Also, Gomez, what's up with his picture? Is that like his default 2 celebration? Is that a thing?
I think it's his, he's having a baby or something. His wife's having a baby.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
Next up, we get the EFL team of the season. I mean, Sessegnon's got a good card, but, like, you're never really going to use it.
No.
Like, you're not really going to use any of these guys unless you're a fan. Like, if you live in England and you're a fan of one of these teams, you know, like, using Akinfenwa might be kind of fun. You know, but 60 pace and 82 shooting is nothing to write home about. You know, Brian from Bristol City, if you can link him in with, you know, all of your English players from the Premier League, he's a really good left back. You know, 90 pace, 83 defending, 80 physical. It's a good left back. You know, Douglas, Scottish from the Championship, also a good left back. You know, a lot of these guys are good players. It's just hard to link them in.
Yeah.
You know, Ruben Neves, not bad. Just, again, hard to use them. So those are your team of the seasons. Like, the EFL team of the season, I feel bad saying this, but I won't use any of these cards. Just because, like, I don't have a use for any of them, you know? But the community team of the season, on the whole, very good. Now we're up to Team of the Week 32. I know, there's a lot of new cards came out in the last week.
A lot of cards.
Team of the Week 32, I actually really like this Team of the Week. Like, I like it for reasons that a lot of people won't like it. Because it gives a lot of cards for people to use that will be fun to use. But the headliners are Royce, Milinkovic-Savic, Lacazette, and Koulibaly. Royce got attacking mid in form. Essentially, it's a baby version of his birthday card.
Yeah.
Is what it is. Milinkovic-Savic, that card is nasty.
He's really good.
That card is
insane.
Nasty. And he's 6'3".
Yeah, he's huge.
4-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Like, that's a nasty card. Lacazette is good. I think
Yeah.
you need a better striker than that. Like, the thing with Lacazette is he was always good because he was fast.
Mm-hmm.
He's not that fast anymore.
No.
87 pace is not good enough to be good because you're fast. You know, you need to be 90 plus if you're good because you're fast, right?
Yeah.
Um, Koulibaly, like we said, athletic defenders are the way to go. He is the definition of the athletic defender.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, he just is. Um, and now there's some fun cards in here, which I like. So, Podolski got an attacking mid card. You can recreate that FIFA 13 strike force out of this team of the week with Royce and Podolski. I might do that at some point just because I love using Podolski. But another throwback FIFA card, Musa, is in the team of the week.
Is he?
81 striker in form for CSKA Moscow.
Yeah.
95 pace. Ahmed Musa.
Oh, yeah.
You need a super sub? You've got yourself a super sub.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, we're ignoring the best inform in this entire team of the week. And I'm not talking about Florian Thauvin. It's Mancuso. We just know. That's the way it is. Don't ask me why. I can't explain it. This card is the best card in the entire team of the week.
Probably the best card in FIFA.
Maybe the best card in FIFA. You're right.
85 pace, 75 shooting.
Only 3-star skills.
High medium work rates, which is perfect.
But
pretty perfect.
Pretty perfect. But I promise you, that card's better than Team of the Year Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
But onto our budget beast. It is third in form Florian Thauvin. There really wasn't another choice.
Yeah.
He's just under our limit of 50K. But for 50K, you get one of the best right wingers in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, obviously, you've got Mo Salah and Messi, right? But this card competes with those.
Mm-hmm.
You know? He has 93 acceleration without any boost, so you don't really need to boost his pace, right? Because that is the more important part of a card, I would say, is acceleration over just dead sprint speed.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you can get moving quickly, you're in good shape. He's got 85 finishing, 94 shot power, 93 long shots, 89 curve. He also has 91 crossing if you want to swing a cross in, 90 short passing. His balance is a little low at 76, but his agility, ball control, and dribbling are all high, which make up for it. He also has 86 composure, which is the same as Mo Salah for whatever reason.
Record breaker, whatever it was. Award winner Mo Salah.
Award winner Mo Salah also has 86 composure, so like you're not losing anything there. He does have 80 heading too, which is a weird thing to think about. But if you're running in on the left wing and you send a back post cross to the right wing, he can nod it home. His one weakness is his stamina. He's only got 77. So what I would do, just being me, is I'd probably throw a finisher on him. Actually, finisher doesn't do stamina. You can't really boost stamina at all, but I would throw a finisher on him. That brings his finishing up to 90. His jumping to 85, but his strength also goes up to 77. So that's what I would do. But the way you're probably going to see him run is you're probably going to see a hunter on this guy. 95 pace, 96 shooting on the left wing. Like, that's just probably how it's going to go.
Yeah.
But this Florian Tauvin's great. His other informs are also good too. Like his 86 and 84 are good. He will get a team of the season, but at 50K, he can't drop that much more. Right?
No.
So at the most, you'll probably lose out on 20K after his team of the season, which I will probably pick up if it's not terribly expensive, which because it's in League One, it probably won't be that expensive. Um,
Yeah.
so Tovan, budget beast. If you have a French league team, you need a right mid, right wing, or if you want him to play right striker, put him at right forward and play him at striker. He's good enough to do it. Can't complain on that. So that brings us through all the new cards that came out this week. So I kind of wanted to talk about something else that Sam and I have been doing much more recently. We've been playing a lot of drafts, like a lot. It might be my favorite way to play FIFA right now is to do drafts. And I think it more and more during Team of the Season drafts are the way I'm going to go. And I think that's because, A, I get to play with players that I wouldn't be able to otherwise afford, right? I'll probably never be able to afford Team of the Year Harry Kane or Prime Ronaldinho, right? But with a draft, I get to play with them. And on top of that, I also earn packs for winning.
And can potentially pull some of those Team of the Season cards if you get lucky, maybe.
Right. So instead of, if you're gonna spend money on FIFA points, save some and do drafts with them because A, you'll earn more packs for those FIFA points if you can win games than you would just buying packs.
Right.
And B, you'll get to play with cards that are really fun to play with.
Yep.
So I don't know. How do you feel about it? Is it the same way, general same thing?
I feel the same exact way. I love them. It's like you said, you get to play with cards that you're never like. Chances that I get R9 this year, not that high. So you get to play with these guys, try it out. It's intense. And playing seasons over and over again just gets boring. So you have that intensity of win or go home, and potentially you can pull some Team of the Season cards. And you get to play with some of those Team of the Season cards as well.
Yeah,
you can't get every single one of them. So
and that's another good point is you get to try out the Team of the Season cards during Team of the Season. So if you want to buy one, you get to see how it plays before you buy it.
Exactly.
Which I got to try Team of the Season PK and Team of the Season Gaia. They're nasty. They're really good.
I've gotten to use Hamsich, Courtois.
Surprisingly, Oblak let me down. He wasn't very good.
Did he?
Yeah,
Really?
I didn't like Oblak.
Okay.
Gaia and Busquets though were great. Who's your favorite player that you've used in a draft?
Whew. I mean, recently, I will say Thierry Henry was ridiculous.
Yeah, Henry was good.
Like him with the 1-2. Henry is good. Ronaldinho was amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna go with those two.
It's Dino. He's just so much fun. Like,
he is.
So, Team of the Year Messi and Ronaldo, right? I've played with them a bunch in drafts. They're good. They're great to have. But I have way more fun playing with Ronaldinho.
Oh, yeah.
If
I could have one on my team, I would pick him.
He gives that sort of, like, confidence to do crazy bullshit that you probably shouldn't do. But you're gonna try it anyway. Like... You know what? I'm going to do a McGeady spin, then I'm going to try and rainbow this left back and volley it across goal and see if it works.
Right.
And, like, it's Ronaldinho. It could work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun. Have you had a player that surprised you? You didn't think would be good, but you had to pick him and he was really good?
Player that I didn't think would be good. Fernandinho.
So you didn't think Fernandinho would be good?
Well, I didn't know I thought he would just be sort of average. But he is, like, everywhere.
He's very good.
He's everywhere. I thought he would be kind of clunky, but he's good. Like, he's good at everything. 90 Aubameyang. I knew he'd be good, but 90 Aubameyang's another one. A non-icon that's just insane.
I think, actually, the player that surprised me the most is actually an icon. But it's one of the ones that people slag off on and say is garbage. And that's Inzaghi.
Yeah.
I needed him for chemistry reasons is essentially what it was. I had Ronaldo on my bench, right? So I was like, I'm probably not going to play him that much, but he gives me a bunch of chemistry, so like I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah.
And then he just never missed. Like, the ball got on his right foot in the box, he shot, it went in. Every single time.
Yeah.
Or outside of the box, finesse shot, it went in. It's just kind of like, I'm sorry, what? And he scored Thomas Muller goals. You know what I mean when I say that?
Just like out of nowhere,
Yeah, like the ball's just ping-ponging around and,
and
you
he
know,
just finds it.
right, so like the classic Thomas Muller goal in my head, right? Not counting the one that he scored for Bayern a couple weeks ago. It was an absolute rocket from outside of the box. But the classic Thomas Muller goal is Thomas Muller, to me, runs around with no idea of what's going on in the game. Looks down, the ball's at his foot, he shoots, and he scores, and he's like, hey, goal! Obviously, he's very good at positioning himself, which is why he scores a lot of goals like that. Like, he probably is going through, yes, the ball's coming through here, I calculate that I need to be here, that's terribly stereotypical Germans. But his calculations are flawless and they never go wrong, and he knows exactly where he needs to be all the time. And some German person who's watching this, Nein, he didn't do that calculation. I have German family is the only reason why I'm doing that. Do you want to know my German cousin? You want to know his favorite joke?
What's his favorite joke?
Sam, you want to know what grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears?
Nein, nothing. I'm German. My engineering is flawless.
That's pretty good.
Right. But the classic Thomas Muller goal is, it looks like he's just standing in the box looking around, nothing's happening, the ball hits his foot, he shoots, he scores. Inzaghi, when all the FIFA ping pong moments happen in the box, it always seemed like the ball found his foot and then it went in the back of the net.
Yeah.
Which I was very shocked at. But yeah, I mean, I think drafts are the way to go for the rest of the year if you can afford to do it. Right? Like, if you have coins to spare or can find coins to spare to do drafts, I would argue that that's the way you should go. Or if you plan on buying packs, instead of buying packs, or in addition, like, instead of spending all your FIFA points on packs, spend half of them on packs and the other half on drafts. Mm-hmm. I feel like because people don't play drafts a lot, because they're expensive, quote unquote, everyone, like, you can't run into the same teams in a draft that you do all the time, right?
Right.
Like, I have yet to run into Gabriel Jesus in a draft.
Yeah, never happened.
Like, will you run into the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow? Sure. Can it make it a little more difficult because you can't change to counter it? Also, sure. But will you also run into a lot of formations you probably never see otherwise? Yes. And will you be even forced yourself to playing with stuff that you've never played with otherwise? Yeah. And I think that's fun. Actually, I think the best FIFA players, right? I think if we're going to do a tournament, right? If you were to do a tournament to decide who the best FIFA player was, it should be a drafts tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not given the choice of... You don't get to pick exactly what you want. You have to deal with what you're given. And I know Madden does this. They'll do, like, one of their... Because they have 4 major tournaments a year. Mm-hmm. One of their major tournaments is drafts, right? And the guy who won the draft tournament isn't the guy who won the rest of the other tournaments, but he's widely considered to be the best technical Madden player in the entire world. Mm-hmm. Because he just finds a way to work with anything he's given. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think everyone should play drafts. I think drafts are way more fun.
I also think next year, people have talked about it, that they should do, you should be able to do like offline drafts with your friends.
That would be super fun.
They should expand it more.
Yeah, Madden has that option, is an offline draft with your friends.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know, do offline drafts against the computer cost stuff too?
Yeah.
Is it the same
thing?
It's the same. It costs the same amount?
Same thing, yeah.
I would say offline drafts against the computer should probably cost less, but also give you less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you get less out of it.
Yeah. I don't think anyone even plays those things, to be honest with you.
That's true. But, like, say there was someone who didn't like playing online, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I forget about those people sometimes.
You should have the option to not, right? But, like, be able to do it, Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, drafts. Drafts are cool, man. Do more of them. Next thing we've got up is we're going to do some Team of the Season predictions. next week is the Premier League, and the week after is the week after Bundesliga or Serie A?
That I don't know.
I
I
almost
want to
want
say Serie A.
it could be either or even
Yeah.
I don't think it's La Liga. La Liga ends later.
Yeah.
But we did two of them. We did the Premier League team of the season and the Serie A team of the season. Reason being, I watch a lot of the Premier League, and Sam watches a lot of the Serie A. So I swear to God, if anyone puts in a comment that it should be the Calcio A team of the season, you deserve to get backhanded.
Oh yeah.
You really do. Like, just stop.
You're blocked. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with the Premier League team of the season, just because that was the first one up on my tabs list here. All the team of the seasons are probably going to be 4-3-3. They might go 3-4-3. But just like team of the year, 4-3-3 is the way I think it will work. Harry Kane, Eden Hazard, Mo Salah, David Silva, Christian Eriksen, Kevin De Bruyne, Ashley Young, Jan Vertonghen, Azpilicueta, Kyle Walker, David De Gea. That's our starting 11. I mean, I want to give cases for each of these guys, but I also almost feel like it's self-explanatory for all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Except for maybe Jan and Ashley Young. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I'll give cases for those guys. Jan Vertonghen has really stepped up this year. He's playing with Davinson Sanchez. He's playing with essentially... So last year, Tottenham had the best defense in the entire league.
Yeah.
He's playing with no one from that defense that was left. Right?
Yeah.
So Toby's been on the bench all year. Kyle Walker, who's in the team of the season, got sold to Man City. Danny Rose has been hurt all year, so Ben Davies has been playing. So Davinson Sanchez has been playing next to him because Toby's been hurt and not playing. So Jan is the only guy left, and he's been really, really, really good. He's only got 4 yellow cards in the entire year, and he has played in every single game, aside from like every single Premier League game. Also, Tottenham is 3rd in clean sheets in the entire league. So again, that helps. Ashley Young left back was tough for us. We didn't know who to put there.
Yeah.
We looked at Marcos Alonso. And the thing with Marcos Alonso is he scores a lot of goals, but he's really not that great of a defender. Ben Davies, who I think should get a team of the season, but I didn't put him in because I wanted to give some of the lesser teams. I say lesser teams. Arsenal was the guy who took his spot. Klishnak took his spot. So yeah, a lesser team. Mind the gap in the whole bit. We looked at Ben Davies. But Ashley Young is good going forward, but he's also a solid defender. And Manchester United has had a very good year. They lead the league in clean sheets, though a lot of that has to do with David De Gea. So we thought he was the best option there. On the bench, we've got Aguero, Lukaku, Firmino, Son, Sane, Raheem Sterling, Fernandinho, Pogba, Klishnak, Otamendi, Nathan Ake, and Jordan Pope. Now, the only 3 guys, so there are a couple things here. I don't think Pogba deserves a team of the season, but I think he will be in the team of the season. If only because FIFA and EA really love Paul Pogba because he's one of the most marketable players in the entire world. I also wouldn't be surprised if Conte got a team of the season, even though he really doesn't deserve it.
Yep.
Now, this is also an inclusion of Jamie Vardy, the guy, what the hell was his name? The French guy from Watford. I forget his name. I'm blanking on it right now. I talked about him. We were talking about the community teams. Decore, thank you. Decore. Jamie Vardy, Decore, Courtois, and there's one other one. Robertson, the left back from Liverpool. Those guys will all be re-released, so they won't go out of packs during the team of the season for the Premier League because they're all in the Premier League. So Pope has had a very good year. He's essentially carrying Burnley, and they're in 7th place right now, which is way higher than anyone expected them to be. I was really hoping he was going to make it for most consistent because he deserves it. Nathan Aki has similarly been brilliant for an overachieving Bournemouth side. The only guy, so like Kolasinac, I am not sure he's going to make it in, but I know full well if I didn't put any Arsenal players in here, people would have a fit, and he's the one that deserves it the most.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense. I mean, I guess you could say Lacazette deserves it more. However, Lacazette's not going to fit in a team of the season that has Harry Kane, Aguero, Lukaku, Firmino, and Vardy.
Right.
He just doesn't fit. He's not going to be a sixth striker.
No.
You know, and when Harry Kane has scored 27 goals and Lacazette has, I want to say it's 14 or 15, right? He's almost half of as good as Harry Kane. Like, it doesn't make sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Other guys that could make it that aren't in it, Dele Alli could get a team of the season. Sadio Mane could easily get a team of the season. I could see Company getting one. He doesn't really deserve it. I could see it. Marcos Alonso or Ben Davies could easily take this Kolasinac spot. So could Antonio Valencia at right back, whether it's Kyle Walker or not. Conte could easily go in for Fernandinho. But I think this one's hard, but also pretty straightforward for the guys that are there. You know that they're all good. I think the next one, Sam, yours is more difficult. So why don't you go through and talk about yours? Because there are some players in here that, like, if you don't watch the Serie A, you'll be like, is that guy really actually good?
Yeah, I don't have the end of the bench because you have it on a foothead. But so basically, do you have it up?
Yeah, I have it
what
up.
Mine is?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, on the left wing, Lorenzo Insigne, he's just, he's pretty straightforward. I think everyone knows he's really good.
Except for the manager of Italy.
Yeah, well, the ex-manager. That's why he's the ex-manager. You've got Immobile up top. It's between him and Icardi. Icardi's on the bench. Immobile is probably going to win the Golden Boot. He's the main reason why Lazio has been pretty much the best offense in the Serie A this year. Right wing, Dybala, not even a question. He has a lot of different cards, left wing, center mid, but
I actually have the center forward in there right now just because it's the highest rated. But
yeah, but he'll go on the right wing because that's where I think he fits best.
It'll be interesting to see where they put his card.
He could be a cam. I mean, in real life, he's probably better suited as a cam.
If they make his team of the season a center attacking mid or a center forward, that card is going to be really fucking expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be, what, a 96?
Yeah, well, his right wing, his left wing card, which is higher rated, is half the price of his center forward card. So actually, no, it's not higher. Is it higher rated?
No, his center forward's a 93. It's his highest rated.
But it's the 93 is double the price of the 92,
right?
Because it's a center forward,
right?
And then in the middle of the park, Milinkovic-Savic. Probably not a lot of people know about him. I hate Lazio, but he's incredible. He's probably going to end up, on a top tier club somewhere, Bayern, Real Madrid. He's that good.
I could see him getting bought. I mean, this summer, who needs a midfielder? Like, Madrid has an overcrowded midfield already, but he fits their midfield very well.
Yeah.
Him playing next to Casemiro and Modric would be insane.
Yeah.
Juventus won't buy him, you don't think?
I don't know if they'd want to sell him to Juventus, honestly. I'm guessing Lazio will try to get him out of
the league.
But,
I hate saying it, but Manchester United.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, he fits. I think he's a better Paul Pogba, honestly. But
yeah,
Pjanic, there were a few guys we could have picked here. I went with Pjanic and Nainggolan. Nainggolan hasn't been as good this year as he was last year, but he's still better than most of the other options.
Well, Pjanic and the other thing is Hamsik already is in the team of the season.
Yeah, and Hamsik is already in it, so you couldn't pick him. But it's a toss up. I mean, There's Perisic you could possibly put, but I went with Milinkovic, Savic, Pjanic, and Nainggolan. Left back was interesting because you've got Alexandro and Kolarov. I put Alexandro starting just because he's Alexandro. Uh, Both of them are going to get a card because they've both been the best left backs. Uh, Center back, Koulibaly. Not a lot of people probably know about him. They just think of him as like the guy who's really good in FIFA, but he's actually really good in real life for Napoli. And he's just meta as all hell in the game, so he's perfect either way. The other center back, you see, the thing is since Keeling is already in it, it was kind of tough to pick who to start, so I just went Bonucci. He's been good this year. I don't think he's been necessarily the greatest, but he's in there. Right back, another tough one. We go with, even though he's really not a right back, he's more of a center mid. You go Florenzi because there's really no one else to choose from.
And you think they'll probably give it to him. I mean, I'm interested to see who they give the right back card to. Yeah. But if I were to, like we're predicting what they're going to do, I would guess they give it to Florenzi.
Probably Florenzi, yeah. In goal, this is another interesting one. Alisson already has one. Buffon has split time with Chesney, and he's getting older, and he's not as good as he used to be. So I put Handanovic as the starter because he's been quite good for Inter. And then I had Pepe Reina on the bench. Pepe Reina actually has the most clean sheets. Is that due to him being the best goalkeeper? No, he's not. But, he plays on one of the best teams, and he's pretty good.
You can't really leave him out if he has the most clean sheets.
Yeah, you can't really, exactly. On the bench, Perisic 100% deserves to be in the team. Mauro Icardi, same thing. He's got to be there even if he doesn't win the Golden Boot. Mertens, definitely. Dzeko, most likely. Even though that is, 4 strikers?
Yeah.
The only one, the Mertens, Icardi, and Immobile are locks. Dzeko is probably 75% chance.
Yeah.
And then also Luis Alberto, he leads the Serie A in assists. And then you have the rest of them, right?
Yeah, so the other guys you have in here, you have 2 defenders in Manolas and Benatia.
Yeah.
I think that's really self-explanatory. So the thing with Benatia is less self-explanatory, but he's a good defender on the best team.
Yeah, he could be a little bit mistake prone, as you saw in the Champions League, but he's slotted in nicely for Bonucci.
And would you say Manolas has been one of the reasons why Roma's been so good this year?
Yeah, Manolas is not the perfect player. He fades at times, but he's one of the reasons why Roma's been where they are.
And also, if he gets the team of the season, he immediately becomes the best center back in FIFA.
Yeah, probably.
Outside of probably the team of the year cards. He might even be better than. So I don't think he'll be better than Bonucci.
Faster than.
He won't be better than Bonucci.
You don't think so? He'll be way faster.
He'll be faster, but Bonucci will be so much better on the ball.
That's true.
That's the only other. So Bonucci has 80 pace, right?
Yeah.
So he's not slow by any means.
Mm-hmm.
However, other center backs that are good on the ball will not be nearly as fast as Manolas will be.
Right.
He will also be probably the fastest center back outside of Azpilicueta in the entire game.
Yeah.
Because Azpilicueta will be great, but he's 5'10". Right?
He's 5'10". Manolas is what, 6'2"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you've also got 3 midfielders in Bonaventura, Brozovic, and Douglas Costa.
Yeah, those guys are pretty self. Honestly, looking back, maybe, even though it sucks to say it, maybe you put Alberto in starting over Nainggolan or Pjanic, but
yeah,
that's pretty much the squad.
And I think the thing I like the most about the team of the season from the Serie A is you have a lot of mixed teams, right? Well, I say a lot of mixed teams. It's the teams from Rome, Juventus, Napoli, and then the teams from Milan.
The teams from Milan.
Right?
And that's pretty much it, right?
Right, but that's, for the Premier League team of the season, it's the teams from Manchester, the teams from London, then Liverpool, and then you really have to fight to get in players that aren't,
those teams.
If you're not from the top 6, you really have to fight for, and even if you are, it's hard to make a case for Kolasinac being in the team of the season over Marcos Alonso or Ben Davies.
Right.
You know, it's really hard to make a case for Nathan Ake or Pope. It's not difficult to make a case for, Perisic or Bonucci or Bonaventura, right?
Yeah.
So I like that there is a wide variety of teams, and we don't have 8 players from one team like we do for Man City. Now, I think all the Man City players deserve it, without question. They've been very good this year, but I like this better. I like this way of doing it better. I think the Bundesliga team this season is going to be very similar to the Premier League one, where it's a lot of Bayern players sprinkled with, but we shall see when that comes. But that's also another reason why I like the community team of the season so much, right? Like, I like the fact that it's everywhere, and it's a lot of players that aren't from the best teams, but they're the best players. And I think there was a comment on Reddit. It was, do we give the cards to the people that'll be the best in FIFA? And it was talking about, when they're voted on, right? Because they're community voted. Sometimes community voting can screw up. Like, if it was just the best players, Courtois would not have gotten a team of the season. Right? But Courtois is probably a better FIFA player, and more people will use Courtois than will Pope. So people voted for Courtois. Now the choice is, do you pick the better player in real life to get the best card, or do you pick the card that'll get used more? Tough balance. Now the Serie A, I think, does it perfectly, because it's the players that are good in real life, but also players that will all get used by people who like the Serie A. Like, the only card, there are 2 cards in this entire team of the season that I don't think will get used. And unfortunately, they're both Roma players. But Dzeko and Kolarov just don't fit FIFA this year.
No. I mean, Kolarov definitely not. Dzeko, I could see.
He can play a Harry Kane style.
Yeah.
But with 68 pace, you're just kind of like, 6'3". If you play him in a 2-striker set, like if you were to play him next to, say, Dybala, right? But why would you pick Dzeko over, say, Immobile?
You wouldn't, or Icardi. Yeah, you wouldn't.
I mean, I could see why you pick him over Icardi. He's got 4 inches on Icardi. He's got 3 on Immobile, but Dzeko, he's like Ibra. It's hard to, you can make them work, but they're not the best.
Right.
Kolarov just doesn't fit. Because the stuff that Kolarov is good at, like if Kolarov was a center back,
he'd be great.
Wouldn't be half bad. But as a left back, it's tough.
Right.
It's tough. So that's the team of the season. The Premier League team of the season comes out on Friday. I know people are super hyped for that. I'm hyped for it. I'm interested to see what they do. I'll probably play a lot in the next couple weeks trying to get some of those, Tottenham team of the season cards, because every year I try and get some of the highest rated Tottenham cards I can. Unfortunately, this year I'll probably never be able to get Team of the Year Harry Kane. Just because the Team of the Year cards are so ludicrously expensive. Now, in fairness, they are the best cards in the game the entire year. Now, some of the Team of the Season cards can catch up, get close, but that Team of the Season Harry Kane is going to be a 95. Right? So it won't be as good as, the 96. Team of the Season De Gea is going to be a 96. It's not going to... Actually, De Gea is an interesting case. Because he has a 94 already. So they give him a 96.
Yeah.
I mean, they might give him twin 97s, but that doesn't make any sense. So it'll probably be a 96 for De Gea. De Bruyne, similar. Actually, De Bruyne will probably just be a 95. He doesn't have... Actually, no. De Bruyne is an even better case. Because he's got a 91, 92, 93, 94. They're not going to make his team of the season a 95.
Okay.
Well, because they're not just going to give him a 1-point upgrade for team of the season.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So he might have twin 96s. Aguero is probably going to get a 97, I would think. And the only guy, like Bonucci, will get a 95. He doesn't have any other informs, does he? Or one, maybe?
No, he has none.
None.
He's an OTW.
A one to watch. So he doesn't have... Yeah, so he'll probably end up with a 95 or a 94, right? But none of the other guys run into that cap problem,
No.
Unfortunately, with the Premier League, we have, 3 guys in the Team of the Year that are going to end up with Team of the Seasons. And
Yeah.
it's not even a question, either. Like, I would love to say that I'm, being a, speculative dumbass because, I'm just putting in the best players, but they're actually going to get Team of the Season cards, and it's not a question.
Right.
So yeah, that's our predictions. Afterwards, we might take a look at, how we did, compare. I would say for the Premier League, starting 11. Now, I could always be wrong. Last time I did predictions like this for a team, I did Team of the Year predictions. The last time I did big predictions was the year that they put David Luiz in the Team of the Year, and he really didn't deserve it. So I could always be very wrong, but I think I will be 11 for 11 on the starting lineup out of players that I have picked. Right, so somewhere in these 23 players, I will have the entire starting lineup.
Mm-hmm.
I think I probably have 18 out of the 23.
Okay.
I don't know. How confident do you feel in yours? Do you think yours is pretty nailed on? Like, do you think they could change anything, like, weird, screwball-y?
I think mine is pretty set. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah, I only see one, like...
I can maybe the right back thing. I don't know.
The right back and then goalkeeper. I could see them putting Buffon in instead of Reina.
I could see them doing some stupid stuff like that with Buffon.
And then maybe Bonaventura and Brozovic don't get in, but, like...
Yeah.
That's a maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's pretty easy at this point to pick the Team of the Seasons out.
Pretty locked in, yeah.
But, when someone stupid makes the Team of the Season, we're going to be like, why did this guy make it over this guy?
Mm-hmm.
So we will look at that next week. We'll look at the actual Premier League Team of the Season, and we'll compare them to the one that I have and see how bad I was, because it's probably pretty bad. I like to be confident about it, but I probably shouldn't be. So we only got 2 things left, which is pretty good. We're running on time right now, which is World Cup Group D. Now, we're in week 4, so it's 4th group, Group D. It's got a top, but this might be the most interesting group we've looked at so far. So we've got Argentina, Iceland, Croatia, Nigeria.
Argentina's a shoe-in.
Argentina's number 1. That's easy. Done.
Yeah. I personally don't even think it's that difficult. I think Croatia gets in pretty easily.
You say that, but then I look at Iceland and how well they did in the Euros, and I'm like, really?
Yeah. I know that they play really well. I don't expect them to be complete flops, but I mean, look at the players on
Croatia. Is so
Luka
good.
Modric,
Perisic,
Rakitic, Kramaric, Lovren,
Brozovic,
Kovacic,
Zubic. Yeah. And
the list goes on.
Basically, you know how you've seen the movie Miracle before, right?
Yeah.
When they go through the names, they go Mikhailov, Khrushchev, whatever of.
Yeah.
Croatia is whatever itch.
Yeah, I mean they've got a really good goalkeeper in Subasic.
Itch.
They've got
Is Handanovic Serbian? No, he's Slovenian.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe left back. They're weak. They don't have a great left back. I mean, other than that, their center backs aren't great, but I think that look, what does Nigeria have? Ahmed Musa and Victor Moses.
Musa and Moses.
I mean, that's. I don't really think that they...
The thing with the African teams is they always play above their skill level. Always. Yeah. Just because of how physical they play and teams aren't ready for it. Unfortunately, the U.S. could do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we play like a bunch of sissy girls, so we don't.
Right.
When we had Jermaine Jones and he was willing to knock people out to play soccer, play physical, and Josie Always Scores was up there. And Clint Dempsey doesn't play like a pansy. Those guys, we actually made the World Cup and did good things.
Yeah.
But that's what the African teams do. They play a physical, direct style, which can catch other teams out. Which is why I don't think you can write off Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? And then Iceland, right? Like, I don't want to call it the Gylfi Sigurdsson show, because it isn't the Gylfi Sigurdsson show. The reason
But they play as a team very well.
Right. They are a very, very good team. I would almost honestly say the way they play as a team is the best in the entire group.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because
they don't have enough individual talent.
Right. Argentina is absolutely not a team.
No.
But they have so much individual skill that if they lose, it's a travesty. Right. The only reason why they don't win World Cups is because they don't play as a team.
Right.
They have 4 strikers that could play striker on any team in the world wherever they wanted to. They've got Higuain, Aguero, Messi, and I'm even blanking on the 4th one because I can't remember his name right now. Crap, now I have to look it up because there are 4 of them. And I feel like Icardi. Icardi's Argentinian. I'm an idiot. Yeah. Thank you. We were literally just looking at this guy, Icardi. And, I mean, Dybala. Does Dybala count as a striker? That's 5.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right? Like, they should just run like a 5-1-4. Can they do that? Or, no. They should run a 5-0-5. No, just no midfield. You have a terrible defense, so you play with 5 defenders, and you have a really good attack, so you play with 5 attackers. Can that work? Can we do that? So someone get their manager up on the phone right now. I mean, Italy played a 4-2-4. Like, you can't rule anything out.
Right.
So yeah, if I'm picking the group, right, I'm gonna pick Croatia to go second. But would I be surprised if Iceland or Nigeria ended up second? Not really.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's World Cup Group D. Next week we've got Group E, which is Group E is another very interesting group. We know who's gonna top it, but then past that, we really don't have any clue.
Yep.
I mean, we have an idea. Like, I would guess it's gonna be Serbia. But with how well Costa Rica played last World Cup on the back of Keylor Navas, they could surprise people. Same with Switzerland. They've got good players. So that's coming up next week. We've only got like 50 days till the World Cup.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
It's really close. I'm super excited. World Cup years are fun. Like, even though the U.S. isn't in there, it's fun to watch, right? Like, this year is more disappointing than most because we've got a group of death of people who didn't make it.
Yep.
Right?
Italy, Netherlands, United States.
Italy, Netherlands, United States, and there's one more. Hold on.
From South America.
Is it South America? Chile.
Chile, yeah.
Chile. They didn't make it. So that's your group of death of teams who didn't make the World Cup. So those guys are going to miss it, but you've also got like the ability to see, can England actually be good? And I'm going to have a ton of fun rooting for Denmark. Like, just if you're in the US, obviously you watch soccer, right? If you're paying attention to this, right? Or even if you don't watch soccer and you're going to watch the World Cup, root for the team who has your favorite player in FIFA on it, right? Just find a reason to root for it, even if you have no ties. Or root for it, like, obviously, we both root for the Italian national team, because the U.S. is kind of garbage, right? Root for where your heritage is from. If you have English heritage, then root for the English team. If you have French heritage, root for the French team, German, and so on and so forth. Find a reason to be connected to it, and it'll become way more fun,
Yep.
Or if you have no connections to it, say, you've got Dutch family and you watch teams from the championship, like you're a, Aston Villa fan, and you've got you're Dutch and you're an Aston Villa fan, or you're, from the U.S., you're Dutch and you're an Ajax fan, you have none of the players are there. even though Lozano's going, so you really don't have Lozano plays for PSV, right? So it
Yeah.
doesn't even count. But like, root for like an underdog,
Mm-hmm.
cheer on in Iceland or
Like a Ghana from 8 years ago or whatever. You know what I mean?
right. Pick a story, enjoy it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it can be really fun, and then find people to watch it with. That's huge. Like, in the 2014 World Cup, I would just like give people a reason to come around and watch it. Like I would throw parties at my house just to watch the games.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the U.S., so we all had a reason to watch. But after the U.S. got knocked out, people kept coming to watch, the semifinals. Or, I had, 30 people at my house watching the World Cup final, and none of us were German or Argentinian. No one cared. It was fun. So watch the World Cup. Get excited for it. We'll have Group E next week. I think all we got left is what to watch for. What to watch for tomorrow is Liverpool Roma.
Yep.
What do you think? 3-0 again?
Yeah, we're coming. It's the comeback is on for sure. It's not even a question.
It's not even. Well, okay. So do you think it's possible?
Yeah. Oh, it's possible. It's definitely possible in Rome. Do I think it's going to happen? I wouldn't bet my life on it, but we definitely have a chance.
It was 5-0, and then it became 5-2, right?
Yeah, and it should have never been 5-0. But EDF's tactics were just retarded. We're just bad.
That's the whole point, right? If you guys come out playing like you can play, you beat Barcelona doing it.
Yeah, no. If we can get going early, and we can get an early goal, that's going to dictate it. If the first goal comes in the 70th minute, you know what I mean?
It's tough, right? It's tough.
But if we come out and score in the 10th minute, pressure's all of a sudden on Liverpool because, they're supposed to win this. We were not supposed to be here.
And I would venture Barcelona is better at every single position aside from maybe their manager and potentially not even center back. Like literally, Barcelona is better than every position at Liverpool aside from their manager. And people will say, how can you say that? Well, Salah plays in the right way, and guess where the hell Leo Messi plays? So they're better at every single position, and you guys beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
So
it's possible.
If we want to talk a little bit Bayern Madrid, I feel so bad for the goalkeeper from Bayern.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
And if he doesn't do that, they win.
Yeah.
They win. Well, actually,
Ulrich,
it goes to penalties at that point, doesn't it?
No. It would have been Bayern.
No, because it was 2-1 in Munich, and then it would have been 2-1 in Madrid. So it would have gone to extra time and penalties.
Wait, Bayern lost 2-1
in Munich, and then they would have. Yeah, because they lost 2-2.
Oh, okay.
The reason they lost 2-2 was because of the screw up that Ulrich had. Now, unfortunately, Manuel Neuer was not healthy; he could not play. And Boateng didn't play either, right? He was hurt.
No, he was out. They had a lot of guys that were hurt.
Robin was hurt.
Robin did.
Yeah, it was a injury hampered Bayern Munich, which is unfortunate because I think that was the final, right? We saw it go 4-3 Madrid, and it was close. But unfortunately, I don't think anyone who comes out of the other side is going to give any sort of trouble to Real Madrid.
But I mean, the thing is, though, is that in one game, anything can happen.
Anything can happen, right? But if I'm looking at it, right, they have the most talent of any team in the world.
Yeah.
Aside from maybe Barcelona, but even then, it's a tough question, right?
Yeah.
I just hope it's not going to happen. I hope Gareth Bale carries the living shit out of them in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
It won't happen, but I hope it happens. Someone, Isco gets. I won't say Isco gets hurt. You can't ever root for someone to get hurt.
No.
But yeah, so that's the Champions League. And then coming up this weekend, we've got Liverpool-Chelsea, which is a super, super important game for the Premier League, deciding who finishes where. Anything important in the Serie A? You guys have a bunch of close races, though, right?
Bunch of close races to keep an eye on, but nothing in terms of big games. I mean, the closest I can think of would be maybe Napoli Torino. I mean, that's really as close as it comes to
I
big
still
games.
think it's crazy that Roma
Bologna.
and Lazio are tied for third. It'd
Yeah.
be like if Tottenham and Arsenal were currently tied for third and fourth.
Yeah, Inter fell off a little bit, so hopefully Roma can secure that fourth or that top four. But
yeah,
we'll have to see.
There's nothing really there. And then in La Liga, there's is El Clasico. El Clasico's this weekend.
Oh yeah.
El Clasico's this weekend. Now, unfortunately, El Clasico means a heck of a lot less because Barcelona already won the league. What it is important though is that they could go undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
So that's huge. If Barcelona go undefeated in the league, I mean, I don't know when the last time someone was invincible.
Arsenal? That Arsenal team?
No, well, in La Liga, no, because it was the last one. The last one who went undefeated in the league was Barcelona. I just don't know when.
Oh, I think was it like 08, 09?
Might be. 38 match unbeaten run. Undefeated seasons. I want to know what year was it?
I think it was 08 or 09.
Yeah, that seems right. I just want to make sure I'm right. No, it was 2009, 2010.
Okay.
Which again makes sense. World Cup. It was basically World Cup Spain.
Yep.
That was playing. You know, Xavi, Iniesta, that team
with Messi.
With Messi and David Villa at the time.
Yeah.
So it was literally the Spanish national team plus Messi and Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Like what? You know, Carlos Pueyo, Gerard Piqué.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't have the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's on Madrid, but I don't even remember who who Barcelona's goalkeeper was back then. Do you have any idea who Barcelona's goalkeeper was in 2010?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Victor Valdez.
Victor Valdez.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
Stupid. They also did they go undefeated in 2010, 2011? I don't know where those two losses came from. But yeah, I think the last time someone went undefeated in the league was at least 2009. If they do it this year, that would be very, very cool. And I know Madrid is going to be very much wanting to spoil that. Because it's in... I mean, is it in Madrid? Question mark? It is... where is it being held? It's in Barcelona. So, if Madrid goes into Barcelona and stops their undefeated run, that's really cool. I'll actually probably tune in to watch that because Tottenham's not playing that day. So that's really cool. I don't have anything else to add. We'll be back next week. I know this is a little late, so probably no one caught this live. But hope you guys enjoyed watching it. It'll be on YouTube like it always is. We upload it next day. And we'll be back next week. So we will see you all later. Any parting words, Mr. Samuel?
No, enjoy your week, guys.
All right. See you later.